All right, Shalom. Shalom, giving our praises, glory, and honors unto Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shah, by Hashem Rakapadash. Double honors to the apostles, elder bishops, a great millstone. Peace and blessings to the 144,000, the rest of the hopeful elect out there, to the brothers and sisters that believe in His truth. This is your brother, the priest Zion from GMS Atlanta, back with another edifying video. And I have an article here from Newsweek. This is from November 3rd, 2025. And this is once again, per usual, another step closer to the Motb. All right. Once they start to introduce the digital ID and the biometric system around the world, and especially here in America, then things are going to start moving quick. As far as privacy is concerned, they're going to introduce the microchip implant, and that is going to be the actual mark of the beast. And then those of us of the hopeful elect can look forward to salvation if the Spirit is with us to resist. Okay? Because the hour of temptation is coming. All right? The build up to the hour of temptation is nigh at hand. Right? Which is here, but it's going to increase just as Jacob's trouble is increasing. So that's why we got to stay down, 10 toes down, locked down in His faith. So it says immigrants' DNA to be tested under new DHS plan. So this is, still dealing with these immigrants coming into this country. It says the Department of Homeland Security has proposed a new rule that would expand the collection and use of biometrics from individuals applying for immigration benefits, including DNA testing, according to a filing in the Federal Register. So they want to know everything about you. All right, this is what these Edomites want. They want to be like God in the earth. They want to know all your business, your personal information, your biological, your DNA. They want to have everything on record, not just your eye scan and your fingerprints, okay? Not just your name, address, and what school you went to. And no, they want to know everything, okay? And they're tying it to, like it said here, the biometric system, okay? So let's read some more. Why it matters. Under the proposed rule, DHS's U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services will require submission of biometric information from nearly all applicants and individuals associated with immigration-related requests, regardless of age, unless specifically exempted. The rule will also broaden DHS's authority to collect biometrics following the arrest of non-citizens. That's why they're coming after Jake, man. Okay? That's why they're sending ICE out, arresting these different Israelites, all right, of the Spanish-speaking peoples. That's why they're coming after them, so they can tie them into this system, okay? Send them out of the country or wherever else they send them, and then allow more of them to come in, but you're going to have to give up even more private information, biometrics, get a digital ID, and then in order to get in this country, they're going to push the microchip. Best believe that. This is what we're seeing. This illegal immigrant situation, ICE situation, this is what this is evolving into. See, while they're making a big noise about ICE in Chicago and attacking these neighborhoods, this is the type of legislation that they're setting up behind the scenes. It says the rule would also broaden DHS's authority, just like ICE got broadened authority. Now they're saying that they're paying pretty much bounties on Israelites paying you up from $1,000 to $1,500 for every person that you that gets arrested. Let me look that out. Let me just show you this, because this is what I saw, I believe, yesterday. Bounty for $1,500 for immigrants. Let's just see what comes up. Let's see here. Yeah, so this has been around for the last few months. I think I saw a more recent post. Let's see here. From Yahoo, this is from July 7th, 2025. What we know about rumors, ICE is deputizing bounty hunters to arrest undocumented immigrants. Los Angeles Times, LA student seized by immigration agents alleges they bragged of $1,500 arrest payment. So they're hunting the Israelites, starting with the tribes of the Northern Kingdom, which today will be your so-called Hispanics or Latin Americans. From the tribe of Ephraim all the way down to the tribe of Issachar, our people are being targeted. And this is why I did the lesson earlier this week. Okay? Okay, what's going on here? All right, so let's go back here. Okay. So this is back on the why it matters. It says the rule would also broaden DHS's authority to collect biometrics following the arrest of non-citizens and formally define the term biometrics, which includes fingerprints, facial and iris scans, and DNA. Right, and you see in the image here, you know, this woman having a fingerprints scan. It's all digital. Okay? It's all digital. So they're expanding the policies and the authority of the DHS to collect biometrics. It says it would eliminate the age limits. Bailey told Newsweek, in general, biometrics are not collected for children who are under the age of 14 and individuals over 79. This restriction will be removed from many benefit categories. So pretty much they can take the biometrics of anyone, no matter the age. That's what they're trying to do now. Bailey also highlighted that the proposal expands the types of biometrics collected beyond fingerprints and photos. This rule expands biometrics from just fingerprints, signature, and photo to ocular, potentially voice prints, and even DNA, Bailey said. So this is why we say that this man is the devil. This is why we call these so-called white people the devil. Okay? Because these Edomites, they want to destroy the people. All right? They want to be like the Most High, but this is going to lead to destroying the people. Okay? They're saying that DNA testing may be beneficial for what? What does that have to do? What does DNA testing have to do with law enforcement, crime and punishment, work requirements? No, this is just an excuse for these Edomites, these devils, to be on the level of a god. Let me get that scripture. Okay, let's go to the scriptures. All right. This is Isaiah, the 14th chapter. And see, this is where these Christians, they don't know the Bible. Listen, if you're a Christian and you believe in Jesus, God and Jesus, unless you're coming sincere to watch my videos, don't watch my videos. Okay? Because I don't care for Christians. All right? Because you're not true Christians. All right? If you think that you're going to God and Jesus your way and to understand this Bible, you're not going to get it. This truth, this gospel, the good news is only for the elect of the Hebrew Israelites. If you're not of the Hebrew Israelites and you don't believe, then you can listen, you can watch. But Yahweh Bashmi Awashah is going to destroy you. Because this ain't for you. Okay? Christians think that when it comes to Lucifer and Satan, he got kicked out of heaven, and that's not found in the Bible. But what is found in the Bible, and I'm going to read this, and I'm going to show you that Lucifer crap ain't got nothing to do with Satan and an angel named Lucifer falling out of heaven. Okay? It has nothing to do with no spiritual angel. The Lucifer is who the world calls the Illuminati, the illuminated ones. Lucifer just means light bearer. To be illuminated, that means you have the light. That's all it means. And you have a righteous Illuminati and you have a wicked Illuminati. The righteous are the elect of Israel, which they're also known as the children of light when you read the New Testament. But then you also have the wicked so-called Luciferians or Satan worshipers, that because they have a certain level of the truth more than the rest of the people on the planet, that they call themselves the ones with the light. But really the ones with the light are the Israelites. Okay? So this is Isaiah 14:12. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? This heaven is talking about the rulership of Esau in the earth. He's fallen. He's about to fall out of power. It says, how art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations? For thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven. That is Esau saying that, listen, I got the light. I'm in power now. We control the earth. We're setting our people up. Let's destroy the Israelites and the other nations. That ain't got nothing to do with no spiritual demon. This is why we say, you Christians, leave us alone. Don't come to the camps. Don't put comments on our videos. Just ignore us. If we ain't got the truth, just ignore us. It's like paying attention to a crazy person, if that's what you consider us here, GMS and the other Israelites, to be. Because when you read the Bible and you read about Lucifer, it's talking about men on earth. It's not talking about no spiritual angel. And I'm reading it now. This is verse 13. For thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven. We thought Lucifer was already in heaven. Well, he got kicked out, so now you're trying to get back. No, that's not the truth. It says, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of God. The stars are the Israelites. Okay? You got a lot of nicknames and metaphors for the people of the Lord. Sometimes the Israelites are called Zion. Sometimes it's the daughter of Zion. Sometimes it's Sharon, the rose of Sharon. Sometimes it's Jezreel. Sometimes it's Israel. Sometimes it's Jacob. But it's all talking about one people. So these Edomite devils, the Luciferians, the ones that rule the earth behind the scenes, they say, I will exalt my throne above the Israelites, the stars of God. I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation. Who is the congregation? The congregation of Israel. The Israelites. In the sides of the north. We're in the sides of the north. The north of what? North America. So they want to be like the Heavenly Father. It says, I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. And they got all this technology. They got airplanes, helicopters, drones, satellites, rockets, the internet. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High. This is what they want to do. They want to be like the Most High. They're trying to take, if they can destroy the Israelites, then the Heavenly Father will have no choice but to let Esau rule by taking away the blessing from Jacob. But it's already prophesied that the Israelites will be in rulership with the true kingdom of heaven on earth. It says, I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High. That's where they're setting up the biometric system, the surveillance. They want to know your every move. They want to know your purchasing, your transactions. They want all your records. They want to know everything. Because they're trying to be like God. It says, yet thou shalt be brought down to hell, to the sides of the pit. That means the grave, meaning they're going to die. They're going to be destroyed. Verse 16, they that see thee, and this is a prophecy that's soon to come. They that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee and consider thee, saying, because as we see this man start to go down and lose his power and his grip on the earth, people are speaking against him. They that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee and consider thee, saying, is this the man, not the angel, Lucifer, okay, is this the man that made the earth to tremble, that did shake kingdoms through his bombs and war and technology? That's what it's talking about. Through its intimidation of occupational war and invasion. So this isn't talking about some angel that got kicked out of heaven because he rebelled against God. No. Okay? Angels cannot rebel against God. Angels are controlled by God. He created them. That's not what's written in the story. Saying, is this the man that made the earth to tremble, that did shake kingdoms? And what was that man? The so-called white man that goes back to the line of Edom. But the prophecy is that he shall be destroyed. He shall go into the grave, right, to the sides of the pit. First, he's going to go into captivity. Then, after 1,000 years of slavery in the kingdom of heaven, the Israelites are going to destroy him. So there is no future for Edom. But in order for this to be fulfilled, part of how this is going to be fulfilled, I will be like the Most High, is him using his technology, his miracle-like innovations to try and control the people of Earth. Okay? So this is important, while we're going into this. Okay? Let's see what's going on here. Okay. Let me read this here. It says, the rule codifies requirements for reusing biometric data, expands the collection, storage, and use of DNA, and establishes an extraordinary circumstances standard to excuse missed appointments for biometric services, meaning you got to be a super special person, VIP, in order to not have your records in this digital system. It also modifies how certain applicants, such as those filing under the Violence Against Women Act or seeking non-immigrant status, demonstrate good moral character. Hey, they're turning this place into a prison. Okay, as Apostle Hall likes to say, this is becoming an open air prison. It pretty much is an open air prison, but it's about to be a lot more restrictions like a prison. Everything is going to be watched and monitored. It says DHS said the rule clarifies the purposes for which biometrics may be collected. Bailey emphasized that the proposal shifts the focus from individual applications to a person-centric approach, meaning the USCIS would consider the totality of an individual's biometric record rather than handling each form separately. Right, because they don't want to deal with these different sectors and departments being separate from each other. So they want to create one digital ID type database to hold all this information in. Or maybe lessen those types of departments. I'll just read this here. It says the new rule comes after the federal government announced plans to photograph all non-citizens entering and leaving the country, citing advances in facial recognition technology. And they're doing the same thing over there in the EU, right? They're doing the same thing in Europe. With this EES system. Okay? Okay, this is from CNN. Traveling to the European Union is about to get more complicated. Here's what you need to know. This is from a month ago. Because pretty much you got to give them everything. The long wait is over. After years of planning and myriad delays, the European Union's entry-exit system will go live on October 12th. And it's in place already. What does it say? The EU's entry-exit system will capture biometric data from non-EU citizens entering the Schengen area, essentially all EU states except Cyprus and Ireland, plus Switzerland, Iceland, and Norway. Okay, it says in the same way that visitors are fingerprinted entering the U.S., travelers to the EU will be fingerprinted when they enter the bloc and again when they leave. And they're setting up the same. Listen, just because they're not making a big announcement and causing everyone to know what's going on and calling it the same exact name that these other countries are using, you know, what they're bringing out, it doesn't mean that they're not doing the same thing. Okay? Let me read this. It says, according to a recent Federal Register filing, U.S. Customs and Border Protection, CBP, will expand existing photo and data collection at land, sea, and airport ports to prevent travel document fraud and enhance national security. So that's their catalyst, is the fraud and security. So we're going to need to, in order to protect you citizens, we're going to need all your information, whether you're an actual citizen or not. It says the measures would affect all non-U.S. citizens, including green card holders and immigrants living in the country. So that is directly tying into why they're deporting the so-called Northern Kingdom. Well, it's not the so-called Hispanics, which make up the Northern Kingdom of Israel, the 10 tribes. That's why they're being kicked out of the country, just for them to later on be let back in. But they're going to have to give the government all this information and eventually the microchip. So we're close to the Motb, man. We're definitely close. Okay? It's just a matter of time. It's just a matter of time before we see that mark get introduced. But everything pertaining to the infrastructure and the system being set up, that's manifesting now. Okay? Because what are they doing? Let's go to Habakkuk, the second chapter. This is a part of the evil, the wicked, trying to get control of the earth based upon Genesis, the 27th chapter, about Esau trying to get the blessing back from Jacob. So this is the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2. And I'll get straight to the point here. This is verse 5. It says, yea, also, because he transgresseth by wine. This wine represents philosophy. You know, you're drunk. You believe anything you're told. That's what this represents. It says, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home. The proud man, this is the same man we just read about in Isaiah 14. It's talking about the powers that be. Neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell, and is as death. And everywhere that these so-called white people go, that's what they bring. Death, destruction, war. That's just a fact. It says, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. How are they doing that? Through knowing everything about these citizens, setting up a biometric system, a digital ID system, a digital wallet system. So yeah, that's the point, right? They heap to themselves all people. So that's why they're setting this up around the world, mainly in the countries that represent the beast. Okay, the fourth beast, NATO and the EU and America. Okay. So now that's it on that. Let me go to this next article here, and this is just dealing with the digital wallet. That's coming up. Let's see what this is from Bloomberg. Okay, it's not letting me read into this. Okay, you know what? Let me do this. Because this is dealing with PayPal. Right, so basically PayPal is setting up the digital ID wallet. Let me look this up. PayPal. All right, PayPal digital wallet. Here we go. PayPal partners with OpenAI to integrate digital wallet and ChatGPT. So this is how they're going to move the infrastructure of the digital ID into everyday life. They're going to have AI govern it, and they're going to, you can see here, you can tie your digital wallet to it, so it'll be able to monitor your transactions, and that'll be like how they advertise to you, make it more personalized. The same things they've been doing on the internet already, but it's going to be tied into this. That buying and selling. Okay? Digital wallets, digital IDs, biometrics, immigration enforcement, law enforcement and so forth. This is a step closer to this New World Order agenda that Esau has been trying to get to be fulfilled for years now. But it's also prophetic in that it will be it's prophetic pretty much to where the MOTB is coming to pass. PayPal to launch digital wallet feature inside ChatGPT, sending shares soaring 14%. So people are investing into this. I did a video earlier this week about there's billions of dollars into pushing the microchip implant out to the public. So this is pretty much it. I'm gonna end it here. I didn't have anything else. Let me click on this. The keyword. OpenAI, PayPal. So yeah, a step closer to the MOTB and the digital prison system. We're close to the end of this evil, wicked age, this world. And soon the world of Jacob will be established, and the kingdom of heaven for the nation of Israel will be on earth. So with that, I want to close this out. I hope this lesson was edifying. I'll say peace, shalom to the hopeful elect out there, to the brothers and sisters that believe in this truth. Shalom.